Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey, thanks for joining us on what is considered the lowest mileage Lincoln Mark IV in the entire world, and we have it here at Fleming's Ultimate Garage. First off, there might be other claims of low mileage and things like that, but we're talking about low mileage, original, and to me, I could never take care of a car like this, but we did get this from a 100-year-old woman who had given it to her family, and the family wanted to continue taking care of it, but they really couldn't, so now they're looking for somebody like yourself who is now ready to take this on. If you go to a car show, you will never run into yourself again. Love Chevelles, love Camaros, love new Porsches and things like that, but you are never going to go to a place and see another one of these, all right? Just like this. First off, forget the colors because the color combination is awesome, and wait till you see the preservation of the leather inside. We'll get to that in just a minute. But the paint is all original on the car, right? And so how do you know that? Well, Tony, how could you possibly know that? How could you know that, huh? I hear you coming at me. I can hear you on the other side of the screen through my stereo speakers and my monitor. I hear it. And now you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pony up and show you how I figured it out, all right? So what you wanna do is, this is an electronic meter. Cars are painted at the factory, and they're painted pretty uniformly all the way around. You go down the assembly line, the robots paint the cars. Back in the day, they were painted by hand, but they still went down the assembly line, right? And they were painted this way. When you go to a body shop and you have a fender repaired or replaced or something like that, they don't care about how thick the paint is. Their job is just to blend it, make it look good. That's what they do. This right here will determine if a panel has been repainted or not. So as we walk around, look at this, 3.5, and so you always want it to be within 2 mils thick. This is not 2 millimeters, because 2 millimeters would be really thick, 2 millionths of an inch thick, okay? So this right here, 3.5, the hood, 3.0, 4.0, we're still all in line. Okay, 3.5. This is cool, man, look at this, okay? Look at the paint on this car. This has been in a heated, climate-controlled garage since its birth. Purchased new, 3.5. I mean, as we go around the car, it's just that way. Every panel that we've done with this has been great. All right, so what I want to get at is, the paint coat is an exotic color called cream. It really is a cream colored paint, and it looks great, but it has some great styling touches. And the only thing that I would do to this car, if it was me, I might, and I'm not sure I even would, is I might consider going to the aluminum wheel you could get, okay? Or real wire wheels. Not the 5,000 spoke wire wheels, but the thick, true spoke wire wheel on this would make this car look so sexy and elegant. Would be spectacular. And so we could order a set of those for you if you wanted to, or we could find the mag wheel from the Lincoln at that era too and put those on. Your call, doesn't matter, and we'll go from there. So, so original factory paint. It's really hard to see white and the cream. You really can't tell the what it is, but it's really shiny, man. I mean, it's good paint, and it's original factory paint, which we've just metered. Love these headlights and stuff like that. Colin and I were just talking about how cool this is. Check this out. All right, so we are talking about styling on here. The fold-away headlights, we just opened those up for you so you can see what they look like. We'll do them outside here with the car running like it's supposed to, okay? This great belt molding here, it's got an inscription colored as well. The insert is there. It's little styling stuff like the opera window here, this piece of chrome trim, and this quarter top. There's a tag underneath the hood that I'll show you. That's the build tag of the car, and it lists it as the quarter top to go on the car. And you walk around here and it has this styling feature that they stole from Rolls-Royce. Sorry, that's the word on the street. I'm just calling it as I see it, but it's really nice looking. It really tidies up this whole car. You come on around, all of the chrome and stainless is original, all right? The couple things that are not original, the tires, okay, because you really don't want to drive around on 40-year-old tires. Also the battery and a couple of maintenance items as well, but everything else is all original. And like, listen to the way, this is an original car, man. They don't close like that when they're restored, all right? And we'll keep rolling around and seeing some of what a great, great car this really is. Great grill, love that grill. The front end styling, the car is elegant. It really is a great looking car. And outside of here, going down the road, it is fabulous looking. You go out to dinner in a car like this car is getting parked out front. And when everybody knows that it's a 16,000 original mile, 40-year-old car, it's going to be hard to believe. But when you see the inside as well, it's even better than the almost flawless paint outside. All right, let's take a peek under the hood, because we like to show you that. And the reason why I like to show you that is because you could maybe you want to show this car. Maybe you want to take it to some shows. You're never going to run into another one. You'd be the only one. There could be 10,000 cars there. Guess who's going to have the only Mark IV with 16,000 miles on it? You. All right, so if you would, come on up here, because I want you to see some stuff that makes for, like, okay, let's say that these cars are really coming up in value right now. And so let's say that it's 20 years from now, and these are collector items because they're 50 years old, right, or 60 years old by then. And so what are they going to use to judge the restorations that are getting done, the cars that are all torn apart? Well, they're going to need an original car to do that. This is that car. You will own that car that all other cars are going to be judged by. And I'm going to show you why I mean by that, okay? So if you look around for things like the stampings on the valve covers here, all right? Stampings on the valve covers, all right? The canister is still here for the evap system. The decals are over here on the valve covers, all right? Part of the smog system is here, and that's still there. The original smog pump is still there. The stamping on the air cleaner is here with all the part numbers. Everything has a part number stamped around it. Look right here, all right? This is just an amazing, amazing piece of history. The stampings on the fenders, okay, they're all still intact and still in place. Come on over here. Here's a tag for the build, which I was telling you about. That says half top. So, 460 cubic inches, still makes great power, right? But rides so beautifully, silent, air conditioned, and when I say loaded with options, when we get inside the car, you're going to see loaded with options. So that little bit of styling stuff we talked about, key goes in here. Check this out, man. Trunks all still carpeted, these are original decals, man, original weather stripping. Look how nice and pliable this is. This right here, original spare tire. Wow. Wow, still got the red stripe on it, never been down. It's amazing, amazing. You know, the radials were out by then, so that's why this has radials on it. We've had some low mileage cars from the 70s and they had belted tires on them, but that's amazing. All right, so come on in here, because this is a selling feature of this car, is the fact that so much of it is luxury, but more importantly, so much of it is well preserved. This is the most well preserved interior I've ever been in a sub 25-year-old car. It's the preservation. I know I could never have taken it like this. This is believed to be the original floor mats. Somehow they were able to match them in here. But what I want Colin to show you is the leather on the door panels and things like that. It would normally have cracked and dry rotted by now. Okay, back here, this back seat is absolutely near flawless. Has the reading lights in the pockets there for people who are sitting in the back. Headliner is nice and tight. GM cars by now, the headliner would have already sagged and fallen out. All right, the footwell lighting works like it's supposed to. All right. The dash, as you pan around, I'd like you to look at that. Here's the tilt wheel. A lot of people don't know where the tilt wheel is located, but it's here on the turn signal. All right. And the dash, it's got a Cartier clock in it. It's got the original AM/FM Quadrasonic 8-track tape player. 8-track tape player, man. How cool is that? All right. The dash is really nicely done. It's got air conditioning. It's got power seats. It's got power windows, power locks. It's got remote mirrors. All right. It was a really, and not to mention an expensive car, because they were going head to head with Cadillac year in and year out, trying to outdo each other. Lincoln had become a formidable player by then, and they were really doing it. Cruise control mounted in the steering wheel. The steering wheel is in incredible shape. You can't get these steering wheels anymore. And typically what happens is this insert comes out, and it's very difficult to get somebody to repair it. This right here is near flawless. The whole interior is near flawless, and is show worthy. So if you want to take a car to a show, this would be the car you'd want to take to the show, because there's no way you couldn't win the whole, you could end up ruling the whole world with this car. Probably a little exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Hey, if you're looking at me, sorry I got lost. I wanted to show you some stuff in here. Check out this gas tank. It's a 40-plus-year-old gas tank. At least it appears that way. Exhaust, you can see the paint underneath the floor pans back there. This has optional 4-wheel disc brakes, so I don't think there's any option that this car is missing. Quite honestly, it could have every option you could get. I don't have the options list handy with me right now, but through that whole thing. But doing a video under a car is what most people would never do. I definitely want to be under here, because this is really so ridiculously well preserved. It was incredible. All right, so we just reviewed what's considered the lowest mileage Lincoln. It may be the lowest mileage 35-year or even 30-year-old and older Lincoln in the world. It's certainly the lowest Mark IV Lincoln in the world. And going to a show and being able to advertise that, you should have us make you a display to take, and would be a poster that would sit like a sandwich sign and describe this car. Having 16,800 original miles, we're talking about a car that's been driven less than 500 miles a year. A year, okay? Original paint, original interior, all the markings underneath the hood, the trunk all intact and loaded with options. This is one cool piece. You say, ah, man, how do you get so excited about like that? It's not a big block super sport. That's exactly right. It's not a big block super sport that's been taken apart 25 times, restored and done that. This is a completely unrestored original survivor that probably no one else in the world could have taken care of except someone who had been through the Depression and knew the value of money. Now's a good chance for you to take on that dream and have some fun as an enthusiast in something like this. Anyway, if you can find a way to get what may be one of the coolest cars we've ever had in your life, call us. 76 Lincoln Continental Mark IV, loaded, 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about it.